In this video, I'm sharing 5 tips to help you get to 68 seconds of pure thought, which is the amount of time that it takes for our thoughts to gather enough energetic momentum for the law of attraction to respond to that and bring us matching physical manifestations. If you are new to my channel, then welcome. My name is Adrianne. I'm a manifesting coach and intuitive guide, and on my channel, we talk about getting into the flow and manifesting with ease. So if that is something you're interested in, I invite you to click the subscribe button and turn on notifications so that you'll be the first to know when I publish new videos. So this video is kind of a follow-up to the recent video that I created all about 68 seconds of pure thought. So if you want a deeper dive into why 68 seconds is an important number, where that comes from, what a pure thought is, then I recommend that you watch the video that I'll link up here and in the description box below. But basically, a pure thought is a thought that is purely focused on what you want to manifest, a thought that feels totally good. That's the key thing, is like the emotion of the thought feels really good. You're thinking about what you want from the place of already having it, and you are living in the end, as they say. And so, yeah, in this video, I want to share 5 tips that I think are helpful for being able to accomplish that 68 seconds, because like I said in the beginning, 68 seconds is that number that if we can reach 68 seconds of pure thought, law of attraction starts responding with physical manifestations. We start getting signs, we start seeing progress happen. Sometimes we get instant manifestations of things that are just ready to pop and come into reality that are on that topic that we're focused upon. And so it's an important number. And then if we're able to do that, then we can keep kind of getting those reps in of 68 seconds and create this thought, this pure energy thought about this topic to be more of our familiar thought, and then we can tip the balance into the full manifestation. So it's an important skill to be able to get your thoughts to be pure and be able to get them to be sustained for at least 68 seconds on the topic of what you want to manifest. So let's talk about some tips for how to do that. So my first tip, and probably the most important, is soothe resistant beliefs. Basically, if you're having a challenge, having a pure positive thought about what you want to manifest for 68 seconds, it's because you have some kind of resistant beliefs on the topic. Maybe you don't believe you can fully manifest what you want. Maybe you've had past experiences on this topic that were challenging or traumatic, and when you try to think positively about it, your mind just goes to those past experiences. So really, the first thing that you want to do, the most important thing to do to have 68 seconds of pure thought, is to identify what are some of those counter thoughts that you're having that aren't letting you get to the 68 seconds, and how can you start to soothe those thoughts and find better feeling ways of thinking about the things that may be triggering or may be causing this resistance, this negative emotion on this topic. I have a video all about soothing thoughts, and I will link that up here in the description box below the video, because that can be a great tool to use to help with, once you've identified these resistant beliefs, to be able to soothe them. And then once they are soothed, then you will more easily be able to think purely positively on the topic. And then tip number 2, kind of a related theme, is catch negative thoughts early. So like I said in the recent video, manifesting is all about momentum, and if we have negative thoughts on a topic, we want to try to catch those early before they gain too much momentum. In the other video, I talked about how any thought, if we're focused on it for 17 seconds, it starts attracting more thoughts by law of attraction to us. We start thinking more things about it. It just goes deeper and deeper, and so that works in the positive towards what we want to manifest. It also works in the negative. So that's why it's really important to, if we can, be aware and catch our negative thoughts when they're more subtle, before they've gained a lot of extra momentum by the law of attraction. That will automatically make it easier to redirect the thoughts back towards the positive and achieve the 68 seconds of pure positive thought on the topic of what we want to manifest. Tip number 3 is elevate your vibe. What I mean by this one is basically feeling good, making your own personal happiness, your own personal emotional good feelings like your number one priority, and kind of overall seeing how you can cultivate good feelings, positive momentum, just in general in your life. Because when you're in more of a positive emotional state, it's automatically easier to think positively about any and all topics. If you're on the counter, if you're feeling negatively, if you haven't slept well, or if you're hungry, those are two that can be triggering for me. Or like if something has happened in another area of your life that's causing you to feel not so good, then that's automatically going to make it easier for law of attraction to bring you the negative perspective on every topic that you think about. But then the corollary to that, if you have had good rest, if you've been doing things that you enjoy, if you've been finding the positive aspects of people and situations that you're in, and just kind of overall trying to seek and maintain this good feeling emotional place, and that automatically makes it easier to find the positive side of any topic that you point your focus to, including the topic that you want to manifest and that you're wanting to try to get 68 seconds of pure thought upon. And so yeah, this one is just really helpful for that aspect, and also for the aspect of not becoming too attached to what you're wanting to manifest either, because you're building the skill of feeling good, feeling happy, regardless of what is or isn't manifesting. So it's also, as a bonus, helpful in that regard as well. Tip number 4 is to do a manifesting intensive. And what I mean by that is a new kind of technique that I came up with in a recent video that I will link up here and down below, where basically you can watch the video if you want the full explanation of how to do this. So basically, if you set aside a period of time, maybe somewhere between 15 minutes to a few hours, if you really want to go all in on it, and just having like this dedicated period of time where you're going to have this intention of accomplishing these pure thoughts, accomplishing this vibration. Because yeah, sometimes it can take some time to work out the resistance and actually get to the 68 seconds to kind of move yourself up the emotional scale and kind of release some of the negative beliefs, negative thoughts, soothe those, and get to the pure positive thoughts about the topic. Sometimes that can take some time. It's good to give yourself that focused amount of time when you can, if you need that. And also, 68 seconds is kind of just the beginning for manifestation. Really, if we can do longer than 68 seconds, or kind of a practice of 68 seconds throughout the day repeatedly, then we can get that to be more of our common way of thinking about the topic, which really is what helps our vibration stabilize on that wanted outcome, and then be able to fully manifest it and maintain it in our reality. Okay, and then finally, tip number 5 is do it for pleasure first. So yeah, of course you are doing 68 seconds of pure thought to try to help what you want to manifest, but if you make that like your primary intention, it's kind of like you're coming from this perspective of trying to make something happen that's not already happening, and that has like an element of tension or resistance in it, or it can. But if you make instead slightly more important to you that you're wanting to find pleasure in these thoughts, that you're wanting to spend this 68 seconds or however amount of time you've dedicated to thinking purely positive thoughts about this topic, making your primary intention for doing that to be the pleasure that you find in doing that, and wanting to find that pleasure, wanting to find and enjoy those positive feelings of those thoughts. And that will help your vibration be even cleaner, even more likely to be a pure positive vibration, versus if you are trying to think these thoughts because something isn't happening and you want it to happen. And so you've got to think these thoughts that has that element of pressure or tension or longing or attachment that can be something that, can make it more challenging to get to 68 seconds and get in that pure positive place. Okay, so those are some of the tips that I've personally found helpful in order to be able to get to 68 seconds on some of the topics that are more challenging for me, or where I don't naturally kind of think pure positive thoughts for 68 seconds on a topic. Because things that manifest easily for me are those things where I can just kind of think about it, maybe once or maybe a few times, have those 68 seconds of pure positive thought, and then it just ends up manifesting because I don't have a lot of counter resistant thoughts. So yeah, for those cases where it's not as easy for me, I've found these tips to be really helpful. And so I hope that that is the case for you as well. And if you would like even more manifesting tips and tricks and inspiration from me, then I definitely recommend downloading my free guide to the 7 habits of highly magical people. Like always, I have a link to this in the description box below this video, so you can check it out if you're interested. I'd also love to know which of these tips was your favorite. Was there any tip that stood out that seemed like it would be particularly helpful for you? Let me know in the comments down below and tell me, which tip was your favorite and why. I would love to know what is resonating the most with you. If you like this video, I definitely recommend checking out this next video all about the manifesting intensive. I mentioned that in one of my tips. It can be really helpful for putting some time aside to help yourself get to those pure positive thoughts on the topics that you want to manifest. So I definitely recommend checking that out. Thank you again for joining me today, and until next time, happy manifesting.